legion of the beast. The legion shall be many, and the legion shall be few. He has woven himself in the fabric of your life since the dawn of time. Some may call him Abaddon, some may call him Proctor, some may call him Satan or Lucifer, or the bringer of despair, the deathless brains, the bringer of night. These are the words that shall set him free. I shall become manifest. I shall walk.
Hi guys, obviously it's Jay from the 016 when I was normal. And tonight we are chatting to Liam Barlow, the main boy at Unearthed Music. Liam,
what are you saying? What are you saying, man?
Yeah, man. Thanks for sitting down with us, pal. Really appreciate it.
That's all right, man. It's all right. Happy to be here. Happy to talk to you, man.
Good man. Yeah. Okay, just get the first question out of the way. Just give us a little bit of brief history about Liam Barlow. Why basically what bands you've been in, and why you started out as a musician.
Well, bands-wise, I was in a lovely little school band back in the day called Vacancy Lost. Played bass. Good times.
And what sort of what genre was that?
I don't know. Sort of heavy with a hint of thrash.
Oh, right, okay.
I don't know. It was a school band, man. We used to play at school theatre at lunchtime.
Play anything.
It was sick. Yeah, it was just metal. And then as I got a bit older, you know, as a sort of mature into your musical sort of digression, I got into a beatdown band called This Is Hate,
right.
And was the front man. Really loved that. You know, circuited that for about 3 years.
Yeah.
But then it came to a halt because the original lineup sort of fell out. People moved home. One of the lads had a baby.
Yeah.
So it just fell apart as bands do, you know.
Did you manage to get on some big gigs with that band?
The annoying thing was, as we called it a day with the last lineup, we had a gig booked in with Annotation and Autopsy. We had a big gig booked in with Desolated,
right?
Guilt Trip and all this, and we did manage to get some big shows. You know, we played with Mark Defiled.
Yeah.
Played with Ingested.
Yeah.
From your ends.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of bands like that. You know, bands that were underground as hell when we were playing with them, and now doing really well.
A lot bigger, yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, just as a obviously as a singer, who was your biggest influences growing? Well, yeah, as a singer. Who was your biggest influences growing up?
Fucking hell. I guess when I was younger, you know, the main guy as a frontman when I first got into heavy music, it's got to be Chester, dude.
Right.
Like the guy was just a fucking god, wasn't he?
Yeah. Oh
you know,
yeah.
Then I saw him live when Linkin Park played Download in 2014. They played Hybrid Theory in full, and I don't think I've been in like pure musical elation in my whole life, just watching that album back to back, like his vocal style, his power, everything. And then, you know, when no celebrity death has ever hit me harder than his, to be honest, man. It sucked.
Yeah.
Other than that, I was like Randy Blythe from Lamb of God. You know, always loved like not only his studio voice, you know, and his on singles and albums, but when you see Lamb of God live, like it's him just floating around the stage with his dreadlocks. Like, he used to be bald when I first got into them.
Yeah.
And just stuff just along that, you know. I loved everything, you know, like any metalhead does when they're growing up. You know, I listen to that, sick. It's the best thing ever. You know? So yeah.
I don't know about you, but I actually envy kids these days that are actually, you know, they're on the scene and they actually prefer underground. Well, when I was growing up, go by yourself, I was more into people like Maiden and the normal biggish bands.
The thing that sucks, and it does so. I'll chat with Liam from How Affected a lot about it. We're trying to do a sort of new age thing, shall we say. You'll see more from that. When like me and you were growing up, you didn't hear of underground bands. There was no way to hear of them. You had to go to a show to check. You had to go to a show to check out the support band. To hear about them.
Yeah.
And then follow their MySpace or buy their EP from the show to be able to listen to them again. It's not as easy as just someone has shared something on Facebook. That sounds good. I'll check them out. Yeah. You know everything about them by the end of the day, don't you? So, I don't know. It was so fucking different back then. But
do you think it's lost something though? Do you think the fact that, you know, new music is so easy to come by now with like Facebook and obviously all the music streaming sites, Spotify, and obviously YouTube. Does it lose something? It's like, there's no longer sending tapes to each other. Obviously, that's back in my day, slightly before your time. But and picking up, music magazines and discovering new bands.
Yes and no. Yes, because you physically had to go to a show. You had to turn up at a gig to find out about other bands, not just to watch the headline band while you're paying your ticket for.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I said, you can find any band on the internet now.
Yeah.
All you need to do is go on a channel, watch a few links, which will link you to another link, and you might have discovered your favorite new band.
Yeah.
So, yes and no. It's like I say, when people used to have to go out and date to meet girls, and now you just meet them on the internet. It's exactly the same with bands.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So-
don't know. I'm not sure about you, but I know it's going to sound like an old man thing here, but it seems to have like lost that. I don't know, that touch of, like you said, you have to go to a gig and you discover a new band. Whereas nowadays, you go to a gig, there's a good chance that you know the band before you even get there, because you've checked them out and checked them out on YouTube, checked them out on Facebook, Spotify. So it seems to have lost that little bit of that bit of excitement.
Not necessarily a bad thing though. Like
No, because I think you get more. Your audience is bigger as a smaller band now.
Yeah. I guess the good side of it, if you've got a smaller band supporting a bigger band, and obviously it's all over the internet, you'll have more people turning up earlier to catch this opening band.
Yeah.
Rather than maybe you got in the past where, it's like, let's sit in a pub until 5 to 9 when the main band comes on, and all I'm going to do is go in and watch them.
True.
That's what I pay my money for.
Yeah, that's true actually. Yeah. No, that's fair play. Okay, so obviously I wouldn't say you're more well known, but you are known for starting out Unearthed Music. You are the founder, the owner. Just give us a little bit of brief history about when you started Unearthed and why you started it. What made you create Unearthed Music?
It all started, I guess, the foundations of Unearthed came when I had to sort of sort out the hometown gig for my old band for like our EP release.
Yep.
So it ended up being like, I wanted to fill the room. So I put on a few bands, and this EP release show that was meant to be just, This Is Hate and a couple of other bands became the first sort of version of Altfest.
Okay, yeah.
So from then on, I did Altfest every year, which is meant to be year 5 last October. Obviously, COVID fucking ruined that.
Yeah.
So around that, I'd do one-off shows. Say if someone I'd met in the industry would be like, "Oh, do you mind, doing a Derby show for this band? I'll do it a bit cheaper because we just need to fill the date." I'd be like, "Yeah, you know what? I'll check the venue." So I'd do a few shows like that, and then it was actually after This Is Hate disbanded that I was like, you know what, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like, I want to put on shows. I want to help bands not get fucked over like I did, and many other small bands do.
Yeah.
I want to set local bands up, with the foundation of them to go out and really make it for themselves, whatever genre of heavy that is.
Yeah. So
then from that became the early days of Unearthed, where it was just shows just in Derby, just sort of building the rep up. And I was sort of stood there watching Skin and the Snake, which is one of my early bands, boys that are still on my roster now. Fucking killer beat down hardcore band from Derby.
Yeah. Which hopefully we'll be seeing in Manchester.
Yeah, with Old Wharf, you got them on, haven't you?
Yeah, we've got them on with Old Wharf, I think. Yeah. Hopefully still.
Yeah, it was sort of just stood there watching them. Like, at the time, I think it was like their 3rd show, and they hadn't got out of Derby. I was like, I could really help these guys.
Yeah.
Like the proper little guys. Like I could give them the push that they needed, and it was a couple of conversations with them, and then next thing you know, they were the first roster bands on what has now become Unearthed Music.
Yeah.
So, and it's weird. Like the last sort of 12 months, when I should have just been shut down, not doing anything, if it was just promoting shows, has expanded massively because I've now got 4 guys that work with me, 4 very hardworking, experienced guys in the industry that are taking it to hopefully the next level and beyond. Who knows, man?
Yeah, no, absolutely, mate. No, you're doing amazing. Just a little thing about the social distanced events and the live streamed events. Obviously, we have done an 0161 stroke Unearthed gig in Oldham at Wales, which went really well. Just what's your opinion on them and the live stream events? Do you think they're okay? Do you think bands are not too keen? You prefer everyone stood up? Bit of a pit going on.
I'm always going to prefer the fucking full-on mosh pit in the front of the crowd.
Yeah, but exactly. Yeah.
I think right now we've got to realise that, especially when we come out of this initial lockdown, this is the best we're going to get.
Yeah.
The socially distanced, so whether or not it's sat down or 2 meter stood on the dot, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's really good because more people are online than ever. More people are going to be checking out bands than ever. Hopefully, and going to underground shows. So especially my way at the Hairy Dog, we've got a 500 cap venue down here that will be able to do it doesn't sound a lot, but we can have 100 capacity even with socially distanced, which is still for a local show a lot. That's of
amazing.
People.
Yeah, for an underground gig.
So you'd have people sat down, you'd have people, but they're still there.
Yeah.
And the good thing about socially distant shows, and with live stream events, is that you've got to be there from the very start. So you check out every band.
Yeah.
Which is good, because then even if a band is opening the show, they're still going to get a really good audience because everyone's got to be there. You can't have people coming out like you used to. It's like, I'll just go for a fag. Yeah.
No, it's right. It's I mean, I do find that the ones we did at Whittles, the social distance events. We were quite lucky to do them outdoors because obviously Whittles has got like a really big main stage outside, and obviously I
wish I would have been able to make it down for.
I know. Well, we had your band on. We had Solar Shift on there.
All my boys.
Yeah, and it was amazing. The guys loved it. Everyone loved Solar Shift. And I think it's. I don't know about you, but for underground bands, I think doing anything you can actually do within the rules, and obviously is important because it's so easy to forget about an underground band. There's loads of bands coming up below you, So if you don't do anything for a year, or it's easy to be forgotten.
The crazy thing now is that there is, like I said, there's so many bands. Is that if you fall off the boil, then you are easily going to be forgotten. Like there's so many bands out there that at the minute are just sat dormant, just sat thinking, because there's no shows happening, why should we be posting? Why should we be engaging with people? We're just going to sit and wait. I can't imagine anything worse right now.
No.
Like literally to have to try and make up for all this lost time when shows do come back is ridiculous. Like I imagine you probably think the same as me. Going out of the management side to go back into the promoter side is that if you were looking for a couple of supports for, say, a sort of bigger tour you've got on, you'd go for the bands that have been active, the bands that are doing stuff during lockdown, wouldn't you?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, like I said, it's I mean, we've said to bands before. It's important that you at least try and stay active, try and do something. Maybe whether it's an online stream, obviously, or back when we was just in a normal lockdown, you do a social distanced event. It's a finished product. Like the live stream, you get a finished product. You get a live stream that stays on the page, so anyone can go and see it afterwards. So obviously the quality is amazing as well. So it is important. But what can you do? You can only ask them, mate. And that's all you can do.
And bands love watching themselves play live.
They do. Yeah, they do. Absolutely. Yeah, of course they do. Absolutely, of course they do.
So even if it's not for that, you've got a live video of yourselves to send out.
Yeah. Well, obviously you touched on Altfest before. Obviously you put other events on under Unearthed. What's the best and biggest event that you put on, and the one that you're most proud of as a promoter?
Probably Altfest 3 when we first turned it into the 2-day event.
Yeah.
Because I'd never done anything like that before,
right.
and it was awesome. You know, we had Raised by Owls, we had the Sworn of Monks, we had so many killer bands, and we had the Saturday full up. And I was just sat there, and I was sat with the events manager of the Hairy Dog, Gav, and we were like, we've still got people applying for this.
Yeah.
Like the Sunday, the day after Altfest, it's open.
Yeah.
I was like, let's do it, and we did. We got Devastator, who are obviously local band to us from Derby, to headline the Sunday. And other than that, we just got just applying bands to fill up the rest of the day.
Yeah.
But because we had the local headliner, we still had a good turnout. We still had people who bought weekend tickets.
Yeah.
To go to it, and it was just like, thinking back on that, it's like that was the pinnacle of what I've done. I mean, it would have been the one this October. I had a 3-day Altfest planned. I had Street Soldier headline the Friday, Invisions on Saturday, and the Hell on Sunday.
Yeah, right.
With supports from On Hollow Grounds. I had Vendetta.
Yeah.
Monasteries, Arc Down. It was packed to the rafters of incredible bands.
That's a ridiculous lineup.
And COVID cancelled it, and it has been pushed back. And I'll tell you now, it's going to be happening in May.
Right.
Now. So, touch wood. If not, we'll just do it in October.
Right.
If we need to. The one thing that I want it to be is I want it to go as normal, not just be socially distant.
Sat down, yeah.
It's not just the fact that people would be able to have a good time. I'd have to cut so much out of it just to, be able to break even, because bands have got to be paid.
I was going to say, you'd have to cut your attendance, wouldn't you, that much that.
Of course. You've got to think 100 people a day. You've got to cover these bigger bands. They're on a touring circuit. They need the fee to be able to keep themselves going. That's what as you get up the ranks.
Yeah,
that's what you get. That's what you work hard for. That's once you get any other job, you work better, you get paid more. That's just the way it is. And so whether it happens in May or whether it just gets pushed back to October, when Altfest would be anyway, who knows? I mean, if it can happen in May, then I'd probably put last year's lineup in May and throw a new one together for October. But yeah, I was absolutely gutted that couldn't go together, to be honest. I'll send you the lineup for it, actually. I don't know if you've seen it already, but
no, I don't think I have, actually. No, not that I can remember. Yeah, please do.
It was big. It took a lot of work, but
it would.
Mad.
With that lineup, yeah, absolutely. I can believe it. One of the questions I was going to ask was looking at all the bands on your roster. I know this is actually a question that I have. I didn't send to you, but looking at all the bands on your roster, just off
you're
your
not that's my favourite, are you?
No. Off your head, just off the top of your head, what have the bands got? Up and what are they working on? What are they releasing?
So obviously, let's start with your local boys. Let's start with Solar Shift. Obviously, just released a killer new video, No Life.
Absolutely
insane video.
Insane, absolutely. Is it Gaz Davis?
Really,
Gaz Davis Media. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I honestly can't wait to fucking see that track live. It's going to be incredible.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think Ben will be too upset with me in saying that there is a future EP on its way coming after that. So there's that, and then let's push on to another band that you guys know well, played in October, Beyond the Design. Their brand new video comes out soon, maybe not soon, who knows, don't know. But let's say it's a bit of a fiery one, that one is. Brilliant. And then the EP might or might not be too long after that. How Affected, obviously another band you guys know well. Released their debut album in March of last year, Road to the Kingdom of Blood, which, considering they're in lockdown, went insane. people just fucking love How Affected merch.
Yeah.
Which, you know, me and Liam plan at 3 a.m.
They do well merch. They do really do well merch-wise. Anything else?
And yeah, their follow-up will be coming in the next few months. You know, I'm sure you've heard their latest single, Methods of Destruction.
Great.
That went down really well. And then, like I said, the album will be out. Skin the Snake, like I said, released an EP late last year. Really solid, hardcore vibes. They're working on their next release.
Should be. I think it should be September. I think they should be playing a pier out in Manchester. So yeah,
you got them with Old Wolf, haven't you?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't work hands on with Old Wolf anymore. They've decided to go solo, but you know, I've still got mad love for them boys.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, still show's still fucking going on. Yeah. King Abyss, who are probably Sam, who's the lead guitarist, is probably the best guitarist I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, yeah.
Like huge band or not, that guy's got talent.
Yeah.
You know, the whole band's got talent, and I don't think they'll be too upset with me telling you that they've recently brought in a new bassist.
Okay.
You know, off the record to whoever watches this. And then they'll be following up their latest EP next year. And if you've ever seen them live, you ever heard their stuff, it's really in your face.
Amazing band, yeah.
Really solid outfit who will go places. And 1,000 Scars, you know, lads who have been on the scene for fucking ages.
Yeah.
You know, really revamped with the addition of Aaron on vocals.
Uh-huh.
And if you heard their last EP, their album is going to be insane. And they go, hopefully, on tour in March, but I doubt it'd be March. You know, we'll just have to push it back with Thrasher Wolf.
Yep.
Who will be getting up to you guys as soon as we can. You know, them guys who released.
We're trying to get them up here. We have spoken to them before.
Who released their debut album not too long ago.
Yeah.
And that's gone down.
We actually haven't listened to any. We got one of the. Well, Jane bought one of the old Thrash Wolf albums and the new one. So obviously a couple of things to listen to there. We haven't listened to.
Yeah, man. So, you need to get that at the top of your. You know what you should do? Just check out the Unearthed music playlist. You got
we could just do that. Yeah. Yeah, brilliant.
And then other than that, you know, we've got Until Now, who probably, you know, they're probably not a traditional band for you guys. They're a bit more alt rock, but they're a duo, and I always admire bands that, you know, have less members but do more.
Yeah.
So they're a bit softer, and then Those Once Loyal, who unfortunately have had a bit of issues. You know, they've lost their rhythm guitarist.
Yeah.
But, you know, stuff's happening behind the scenes with them. You know, they've released 2 really killer singles in the last 12 months.
Yeah.
That have gone down really well. And, you know, there's potentially an EP on the way. But you know.
I think we do have a 0161 Unearthed all day at the.
What, in April?
At the York. Yeah, the York. Yeah. So hopefully that goes ahead. Headlined by Solar Shift. Hopefully.
Yeah, man. And then last but not least, I just need to throw a mention for another band that I work with Forever in the Making, who obviously were a bit unfortunate not to get to you guys at the end of last year due to, you know, a COVID outbreak in one of their members' families. And obviously we're meant to be playing in this month with you, but the event itself's been cancelled because of COVID.
Yeah.
But they've got probably the coolest cover on the way that I've heard in recent years. Like probably the best cover I've heard since Blank Space by I Prevail. That's all I'm saying on the matter. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Really excited to see them live actually, which obviously sadly hasn't happened yet, but obviously they will come up. Just to round it up, Liam, give us what your plans are for Unearthed, where you're looking to go with the future.
I'd say the future is just keep expanding. You know, we've partnered with Ike Productions from Nottingham, which is really cool. You know, I've worked with Chris for a number of years, which is awesome. Obviously, me and you work really closely together.
Absolutely,
which will continue happening.
Yep.
So who knows, man? You know, expansion's not happening all the time, and to get some of my bands to Europe would be insane. That's on the bucket list. But Brexit then comes in after COVID of kicking me in the fucking arse. So, but who knows, man? You know, we'll keep going. We'll keep powering through, just as you guys do, man. Just doing our bit to help bands out, and at the end of the day, help them grow, which is the overall aim. And
are you still is Unearthed still, you know, looking to add bands to their roster? Are you still taking applications? And
well, yeah, man, we've expanded our agents now, so there's 5 of us. So, you know, if you're watching this and you're in a band and you like what we do, then drop us an email, man, or woman.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, Liam. Cheers for the chat,
no
mate.
worries, man. Thank you. Yeah.
And we'll see you soon, mate. Take care.
Yeah, nice
Cheers,
one, man.
Thank you, man.